So during some calls, I find that um, when certain subjects are brought up, somebody doesn't want to talk about it, which is normal. Like the first time a conversation happens in a coaching call, it could be very scary, it could be very intimidating, and I never nothing. There's nothing wrong with saying not right now. Like that's not the point that I'm trying to go after. It's whenever people say, I don't like talking about this stuff. I don't like dealing with it. I don't like having to talk about this problem with my partner or with myself. Like I just want to just fix it and deal with it on my own, or just I just don't want to spend time talking about it. And that's a pretty slippery slope. Like you better be very careful because you know the beautiful thing in coaching, particularly, is what I find is the next step or the next action step is literally one statement away from that happening. Like if I'm doing my job, then and you're participating in the conversation, then generally speaking, there's something that needs to be said, promised, made aware of, to then have the next step and the results that somebody is longing for. And that's a if you don't talk, how the heck are you going to get there? And I'm not saying that you need a coach or it needs to be in this modality, but you better be willing to talk about it with somebody, because whenever you process it, well, first of all, generally speaking, that's a defense mechanism. Whenever you don't want to talk about it, like what is your ego telling you that is giving you this false narrative that is saying that it's going to work out or that you're playing it safer? Like I don't think that's a thing. I just don't. I believe that you just bottling it. I mean, when you think about like just bottling it in and not doing anything, and I'm not downplaying the necessity of action steps and the necessity of consistent effort and follow through of promises and action steps. I'm not speaking to that. I'm really talking about there aren't any results. Nothing's really been solved. Nothing's been done, and yet you still don't want to talk about it. So don't that's scary, because you're probably getting anxiety. Your heart rate's going faster. Your emotions are probably a little bit tighter and high strung, and that's like that is taking a toll on your body. That's taking a toll on your relationships, and even if you tell yourself it's not affecting anybody, that's a bold-faced lie. It is absolutely affecting somebody, and it's you. And so here's the thing: people get away with it for years. Like that's absolutely an option, but that doesn't mean it's the only option, and that doesn't mean that there isn't more available to you. And so if you're willing to discover what makes me not want to talk about it, if it's because you're afraid of the pain that you may have to discover or see in yourself, or some of the beliefs that you've held towards yourself, or some of the things that you just don't want to talk about, I get it. Like, have a seat. Surround yourself with somebody who loves you and is committed to you and is for you, because if you can speak it to them, then you'll probably be able to start experiencing the action steps that you really want to see happen. But not talking about it doesn't solve anything. You were made for relationships. You were made for people to know you and be known and be loved. And I know in my own life, the greatest pain that I have put on them or the kids or people that I love has been because of my own silence. And I didn't want to tell them because I was so scared of the meaning that I placed to it about who I was, and me thinking that I was a liar, or thinking that I was lying, but I was a coward or a hypocrite or lazy or not enough. And these stories about myself were just being confirmed because of my silence, and I didn't say anything to people that do love me. And man, what a shitty way to live. Talking about it is absolutely necessary. And if it's not with your partner, then it better be with somebody that really can hold that space for you. and not all partners want to hold that space for you. That's up to them. Um, that's why I say, coaching isn't just for couples. I get a lot of questions like, do both people have to participate? No, because both people probably aren't ready. And frankly, it only takes one of you to transform the relationship, and it might be you. So start talking. And if it's just you being solo with a coach or with somebody who's for you and in your corner and pushing you towards the results that you're committed to becoming and growing into, shut up and just do it. Stop blaming your partner because they're not doing it with you. But I would absolutely say, if there's a silence is a killer, and not talking about it does not mean the problem goes away. So talk about it and connect with it so that you can call forth healing and celebration that comes with sharing your heart, sharing yourself with those that you love. So if that's something that a lot of people, so if there's any way that I can be a resource to people, I would absolutely want them to know, like, hey, I'm willing to have that conversation with you. Being a resource, I want to be that person in your corner who's listening, who's truly inviting you into discovery and breakthrough. And so if that's something that, people are interested in, then let's talk, because, man, that's why I'm here. That's my gift to the world, is being in those conversations, being in that conversation that leads to the big breakthrough, that leads to the complete family transformational legacy that they're really fighting for. So it happens often. It's a blessing. It's such a good thing. And man, if that's something that you're into or interested in, like, let's talk, because what do you have to lose?